Welcome back, everyone. I've got a statistic for you. 1 in 50 million people go to bed hungry in this country each night. And with me today are two people that are actually doing something about it, and we're here to encourage you to do something about it. So let me introduce to you Heather Leonard.
Very nice to meet you.
And Daniel Roberts.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Why don't you just tell our viewers who you are, what your title is, what you do.
Absolutely. My name is Heather Leonard, and I'm the Director of Student Activities at SUNY Adirondack, and get to advise a great group of students, our Student Senate, and Dan's a part of.
Yeah. I'm Dan Roberts. I am the Student Trustee on the Board of Trustees for SUNY Adirondack, and I get to work with her on a daily basis to help plan certain activities and look over the student body.
Well, let's just say apparently it's a pretty good combination because the activity that we're talking about today couldn't be more important. On April 16th and 17th, that's a Wednesday, Thursday?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Next week,
Yep.
that you're showing a film, and the film is called A Place at the Table. And why don't you, Heather, just tell us a bit about what this film, why you're showing this film?
Sure, absolutely. I actually saw this film at a food pantry in Cambridge. I sit on a board called Community Action Angel, and it moved me. It's about hunger in the United States, and it talks a lot about childhood hunger. And I came back and talked a lot about it with our students, and they wanted to do something. And
Gotcha.
A bunch of them sat down and they watched the movie and were even more motivated after seeing the movie to really want to do a program and educate people and get our campus together to make a statement about this. So we plan to show the movie twice. And we invited a lot of public figures to be able to come and view that with us. So.
Daniel, to put this in a bit of a historic perspective, when we were talking earlier, you gave me a statistic in 1980 about the number of food banks versus 2012, the number of food banks. That was stunning. Give me that again.
Right now, the statistic sits at, in 1980, we had 200 food pantries in the country. Right now, as of the release of this film in 2012, we're looking at upwards of over 40,000 food banks, pantries, and soup kitchens in the United States that help at least try and relieve somewhat of the pressure of hunger in the United States. And that's a shocking number. Why over the span of 30 years has this gone up as astronomically as it has statistically?
Yes, that's right. And if you think, and I think you also said to me that even at 40,000, they can't keep up with the demand.
Exactly. I mean,
well, that's insane.
It is, and it's heartbreaking. And
yes.
I got an opportunity to watch the film. Heather told me about it, and after I watched it, I was not only saddened by the stories of the people that were in it, but I was also, kind of sickened by the numbers and the statistics that I saw. And it's unbelievable that in this country, one of the most prosperous countries in the world, we are unable to provide warm meals for people. Children are going to bed without a meal, and it's unbelievable.
There was a statistic that I had seen that said that in a lot of families, now, of course, they said $24,000 a year, correct, for a family of four is the poverty line. So there are a lot of people falling between the cracks that are not eligible to receive some aid that is available, and yet don't have enough money to feed their children. Hence this statistic that the only decent meal that a child gets is the meal they get at school.
Exactly. I mean,
and there's a problem with that.
Yeah. One of the major issues is funding for school lunches. They have to work with the budget that they get. And roughly, children in America, per school, it's $2.65 a child for their school lunch. Now, once you take away the cost of paying the staff, once you take care of the administration costs, that's roughly 95 cents for the meal for a child for lunch. And you try and imagine feeding a child for 95 cents.
Right, and then you run into the issue, is pizza considered a hot meal? You run into those kinds of issues. Our viewers know that we do a segment every Monday on health, and yesterday we were talking about processed food versus healthy food. And there's an issue with that even.
Yeah. Right now, the statistic, as we said, since 1980, the cost of processed food has gone down 40%. The cost of fresh fruits and vegetables has gone up 40%. Tell me where that is a rational number. Tell me where that is okay, where the cost of a bag of potato chips has gone down, where apples, fruits, vegetables has gone up that much. I do not understand it.
Right, Heather.
And that's one of the things that we're really trying to educate our students on. Our students are very, very service driven. We give them a lot of leadership opportunities, and we do a lot of food drives, and we have a lot of pantries locally in Warren and Washington County. And the approach that we're taking is really trying to get our students and our local community to give with more of a purpose. So, you know, because people want to give, and we love that and we encourage it, but we want them to give in a healthy way so that when people are going to pantries and doing things like that, that they're getting substantial food and not cookies and chips and things like that.
Right. You know, there's a certain dichotomy in something else that we were discussing before we went on air tonight, and that was, you know, and this is not a political statement, but you think about a country with the wealth that the United States has, and the amount of money that's allocated to different things, military complex could be one. And when we were discussing that, Daniel had mentioned to me that even the people that are eligible to serve in the military, and what was that again, 1 in 3 or something?
The statistic sits at, of the military age men in this country, which is 18 to 30, 25% of them are ineligible to serve in the United States military due to obesity, which you would think, how does that pertain to starvation? And, you know, it's because they aren't eating healthy enough, because they're just trying to put in something in their body so that they're not feeling hungry, so that they're not, you know, going to bed with an empty stomach. And the amount of bad carbs, the amount of bad starches that they're putting into their body is affecting that. So look 10 years down the road, there's a possibility where the men and women who are eligible for military service won't be able to serve.
Oh boy, then you get into a whole issue about priorities. One other thing, since processed foods lead to disease, and we even made a point of saying that it's cancer, that 1 in 3 children will suffer from diabetes in 2016. Did you say something?
That is a number that they're looking at, where because parents are just trying to provide a meal, they're trying to do something, it's sugary, starchy,
That's right, sure we know.
You know,
That's
foods,
right.
and that's not necessarily on the parents. They're just trying to provide something. But you also have to look at the food cost as well. I mean, a package of hot dogs and a box of ramen noodles costs $2, whereas fresh fruits and vegetables, you know, chicken can be $14, $15, and you're working on limited budgets as it is.
Right, gotcha. Okay, so here's what we would like you to do. If the film is being shown at SUNY Adirondack, right on the main campus, correct?
Yep, in our Scoville building, room 206.
Oh, sure. I know where the Scoville building is, right in the middle of the campus. I think the film is only like 1 hour and 45 minutes. It is unbelievable to watch. And if anyone, from politicians to parents to students to anyone who might have a stake in wanting to establish this as more of a priority in their lives or affect a priority in someone else's life, they should definitely go see this film, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. We're going to try to run it on Look TV too, if we can.
That-
If we can.
That would be
Absolutely.
amazing.
Good.
And if possible,
Sure.
we'd also love anybody who would like to join us on the 17th for a free hot meal.
Oh, that's
We're going
right.
to be
You were
serving
mentioning that.
in our student center. We're going to be opening up our doors at 5 p.m. We'll be seating people from 5 to 8:30. All of our clubs and you know, administrative faculty staff are coming together to serve a meal, and we're hoping.
Right,
to
so
get a lot of
anyone in
people.
the community can
Anybody
come
in
in
the
and
community
can get a hot
who,
meal.
Yep, that would like a hot meal. And
Well, I really applaud you. You obviously feel very passionate about this, and I think all of us should as well.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
sir.
for having us.
You're
Thank
quite
you.
welcome. And this is obviously a very important topic. So if you want to see this interview again, please head to our website, looktvonline.com.